What is going on YouTube? So in today's video, we're going to be working on my buddy's BMW X5, and I'm going to give you guys some more X5 35D content. So we're going to do a swirl flap delete and just completely do the full ABC delete on his X5. And while we're going to have the intake manifold off, we're also going to replace the coolant flange, which we highly suggest doing since you're going to have the intake manifold off. Anyways, so with the hood popped, you can take all this stuff off by hand, and then we need a 6mm to undo this hose clamp right here. That's how the intake box will pop off. It's kind of tricky to get out. Yeah. Okay. Thought a body connector, just disconnect it because everything's going to come out together. You have, I think this is the map sensor. It needs to be disconnected. And then you have a swirl flap actuator motor connector. Usually I only mess with it once the intake manifold is loose, so that way you can work around it better. You have another connector in the very back, which I can't reach it. I'm gonna have to get a step ladder and disconnect it. And then I think all of these bolts, they're captive and they're 10s, but these nuts are 11s and they're easy to drop and lose, so keep a magnet handy. Okay, this thing has a squeeze tab on the side. It's a little tedious to get to. I can't really get my thumb on it. It's very tight. But yeah, it's on the side there. I'll show you guys right there. Okay, so last connector is the swirl flap motor, but we'll get that once this manifold is loosened up. $11mm nuts. That's your first one right there. There's another one in the very, very back too. I don't know if that will be able to get to it or not. You have a little more room on the E70. Okay. So this thing should just lift up. Oh yeah, be careful because those bushings might fall out. So there's bushings that are notorious for falling off the intake manifold, so just... Oh, and the E90, the dipstick, is also mounted to the intake manifold, so I don't know if it's the same way with the E70 or not.
Unflip that as well.
Oh, brake booster hose. So with this loosened up, we might be able to get to that swirl flap. Well, your dipstick, I think, is already... Someone's already took it off before. I think there's a 10mm, I know, on the E90 that holds the dipstick to the intake manifold. And then, okay, I can kind of see the swirl flap connector. Oh, okay. Let's see if I can remember doing this. It's a pain in the butt. Okay, I'm gonna do this off camera, but I'm gonna zoom in and show you guys the connector we're working with. It's that one. And you can see there's one push tab on this side, there's another directly across from it, and that one is really hard to get to. So if you can use a flathead to get in there and push it down, it makes it a lot easier. This is for your swirl flap motor. And that's our last connection to get this intake manifold off. So these are the bushings I was talking about that can fall off, and you definitely do not want these falling off and going into your intake ports. So we're just going to go ahead and remove them all just to be on the safe side. And one thing I like to do is put RTV on these when you reinstall them, so that way anytime you do more intake manifold maintenance, you don't have to worry about these falling off. So here's the swirl flap connector, so you guys can see how it operates. 2 squeeze tabs, but this top one right here is really hard to get to, so that's why we had to use a flathead. So with the intake manifold off, you can see coolant flange is super easy to get to, so that's why we suggest doing it with the intake manifold off, doing the swirl flap delete, just knock everything out at once. So this swirl flap delete kit that he bought came with new intake manifold gaskets and new bushings. Okay, so here's the swirl flap motor. We're just going to remove it. These are T20s, and then you have this actuator rod, and it like a flathead pops off. There we go. There's the actuator rod. And then here's the swirl flaps. I believe they're T20s as well. So years of carbon buildup and the integrated O-rings make these things seize up in here. So I'm just going to gently pry with a flathead and try to work these things out. Yeah, these things are pretty nasty. Okay, yeah, we're tag teaming them now. And why it's a good thing to delete these little screws that hold the flaps in, they're notorious for backing out and then getting sucked up by your intake ports, so you definitely don't want one of those screws to bounce around your combustion chamber. So right now what we're going to do is let the intake manifold soak, break out some of this carbon, and then replace the coolant flange. We're going to put this intake manifold in this tote and let it soak and degreaser to help clean it out. And since we have the intake manifold off, I'm going to go ahead and just loosen up these spring tension clips on these coolant hoses that go into this coolant flange. So the O-rings and these hoses can seize up over time, so you may have to pull on these hoses pretty hard, so don't worry about it, you're not going to break anything. But once you break that seal free, these will pull right off. And then usually I like to break these hoses off first before I loosen up the coolant flange. So you can see I have paper towels to catch up some of the coolant that we're about to lose. So with the coolant hoses off, it's 3 10s, and then the coolant flange can come right off. Yeah. And then we're also going to replace the inner O-rings on these coolant hoses. As you can see, I have an O-ring for this big hose, small hose, and these came from Cascade German.
Yeah. They actually feel pretty good, but at least we'll know they're brand new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a pain in the butt to put back in.
This one especially. God.
And you can get this whole kit off of Cascade German, the O-rings and the coolant flange. So here's a part number. So just clean off the mating surface before you put your coolant flange back on, and then reinstall your 3 10mm and torque them by hand.
I'm just doing wrist strength on this probably.
Okay, so coolant flange on. Now we're just going to put our new hoses back on, and I'm going to clip them down. And there we go, that's the coolant flange out of the way. So we forced this brush, we got that from the Dollar General, into these intake ports on the intake manifold, and it really cleaned it out. Of course, sitting in that ZEP solution helped it out too, so this thing is cleaning up really well. So with the intake manifold as clean as we can get it, we're gonna, well, one thing I highly suggest doing with these cheap Chinese swirl flap delete blanks is putting RTV around these O-rings, so that way it eliminates any chance of leak. So he's applying RTV around them right now. And another thing to do is apply RTV to these bushings right here. So when you put these back in the intake manifold, you don't have to worry about them falling out. Now just tighten up your T20 screws. Okay, the blank off plates are on. Now we're just going to put this intake manifold back on. Just keep an eye out on those bushings. Make sure they don't fall out during reinstallation.
Bushings and gaskets and all kinds of stuff. Can you move that tube real quick?
We took the 413s out to get this cross brace out of the way because this little charge pop was stuck. And we also had to lift up on the intake manifold to get this wiring harness out of the way. So just double check that when you go back with the intake manifold. And then, like I said, these are 10s. Just start from the inside out. And then your 11s, same thing. Start with the center and then work your way out in both directions. And when you start your nuts, use a magnet just so you don't risk dropping them and losing them. Finish up by hand torque them, and don't forget about this one in the very back. Can't even see it. Turn my flash on. Right there. Okay, don't forget to plug up your map sensor. And since we done away with the Swirl flat motor, we're not even going to mess with that connector anymore. So that's all the connections. You know, this vehicle, the dipstick wasn't bolted down to the intake manifold, but if yours is, it was a 10mm bolt. So we're just going to leave it the way it was and reconnect the throttle body. I'm going to put our little cross brace back on. Okay guys, and with the intake manifold back on, you know, we replaced the coolant flange as well, so we're just topping it off with coolant. We also done an injector replacement, and we're letting it idle. So the injector, we just coated it, everything's doing great right now, topping it off with coolant. So yeah guys, as always, thanks for watching and stay tuned for more M57 content.